Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to day 72 of reading 101 essays that will change the way you think. As always, shout out to Brianna West for the text. And today's title is The Art of Awareness, or How to Not Completely Hate Yourself. All hatred is self-hatred, and everything is feedback. I really hope you remember those two tiny sentences every time your chest is pretzeled up and you feel hopeless and helpless and as though you're spiraling into a bottomless bucket of crap. Everything is a reflection of you because all anything can ever be is what you take from it, and all you can ever take from it and all you will ever take from it is what you are aware enough to perceive. The expanse of your experience is directly in line with your consciousness. Nothing is as it is. It is as you are. That's a play on an Anais Nin quote. Unless you are there to touch and smell and see a flower, it is nothing but random matter vibrating in a void. Your recognition gives it its beauty and its presence. You are not in the world is in you. And though that sound like another abstract platitude, it is not. It is reflective of a greater, deeper, truer truth. And in these tiny moments of recognition, of awareness, we find that what we immediately perceive is not all there is, and that anything that feels dense and heavy and wrong and negative is not a matter of what's going on outside, but what we're not healing and changing inside. Awareness is the antidote to solving so many seemingly unsolvable problems. Just the simple knowing that your egocentric mind is deriving other people's actions and assuming other people's thoughts to torture you is enough to silence it. The art of learning is to be unassigning good and bad and right and wrong to what you feel and what you see and what other people show you. After all, even the heaviest, darkest things ultimately serve you and open you to a truth you wouldn't have considered before had you not been in the context to see it. Here are all the things to consider and reflect on and read over when you're feeling particularly terrible. It was requested numerous times that I write a follow-up to this, so here you go. I feel like a lot of us, we just hate ourselves because we're not aware. We think that people are trying to attack us or we're trying to attack ourselves, because all hatred is self-hatred. And anything that somebody says to you is feedback. If it's true, it's something you can improve on, but it's your perception. Your perception is, I'm not good enough. This person doesn't like me, and you hate yourself for that, rather than what can I change? How can I become a better person? So if you hate yourself, it's because you hate yourself. It's because you're letting the perception and the opinions of other people fuel that hatred for yourself. Number one, your actions are more powerful than what anybody can ever say of you. The thing about spiraling downward into a fit of helplessness is that it's usually accompanied by a feeling that we are completely out of control of how other people see us. Of course, this is nothing more than a mechanism of how we see ourselves. But bear with me, because the point here is that no one word anybody says is more powerful or true than how you behave and who you really are. You hold the power here. You call the shots. How other people want to perceive you is their problem, which they will have to come to terms with eventually. How much you want to allow their perceptions to affect you is yours. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks of you, what anybody says. You only give a person power if you give them power. If what they say affects you, you're giving them all this power, but nobody should have control over you except for you. Somebody says something bad about you, Let them say bad things. Number 2, what you think others think is more important than what they actually think. It shows you to yourself. Once again, the awareness that the whole concept of what other people think is a grand illusion that you're always at the short end of. You start to realize that how other people see you shifts as mindset does. Funny how that works. Number 3, your reactions matter more than other people's actions do, and you can choose how you react. Your opinions, thoughts, feelings, emotions, mental states do not have to rest on what you find out or simply imagine people do or don't say, think, or believe about you. The reality of it is you will never know the entirety of what people are saying or thinking or believing. And those things are none of your business. They are carrying on and always have been, whether or not you're made aware of it. The thing that changes there is how much you want to change yourself based on that hypothetical. They can say what they want. You can react how you want. This is with everything, with what people say about you, with life situations. You can never control those things. You don't control what people say about you, how people perceive you. You don't control the world around you. You control how you react to those uncontrollables. Number 4, in terms of romantic relationships and sex and love and body types and attraction and all that, the people worth loving and dating and sleeping with are far more accepting than you're giving them credit for. There was never a true love story in the history of ever that blossomed because someone thought someone else's abs were flawless, whereas you're seeking validation from somebody who is inherently never going to give it as long as you're withholding yourself from someone who will love you regardless. People are a lot nicer and more accepting than we realized because we are our own biggest critiques and our own biggest haters. We hate something about ourselves, yet when somebody who we're romantically interested in likes something we hate about ourselves, we can't believe it. We can't believe it, and we think that they're lying to us. And yeah, sometimes that is the case. But if there's someone who's genuine and they love you and they care about you and they tell you, hey, I love this about you. I love this particular external looking thing of you that you hate about yourself. Sometimes it is true. Sometimes they do actually like it, and you have to give those people the credit. Number 5, you're supposed to be embarrassed of your younger self. Really, it's a mark of progress. It doesn't mean you have to stay embarrassed, though. It's good because it means you're able to look back and wonder, how was I ever at that place? Indicating that you're no longer there. I hope you never reach a point in which you look back on your younger self and think, wow, I had it all figured out. That means you stopped growing. And that means you stopped living. We're all embarrassed of our younger selves. And you hate that part of yourself. You hate that you did certain things. So you hate your current self. You hate your current self for what younger you did. But if you're embarrassed and you hate those things, it means that you moved on past it. You could realize that those things that I was doing, you grew up. And that's all that matters, is because you grew as a person. Number 6, there are overarching problems, and then there are the symptoms of those problems that crop up again and again. Most people spend their whole lives only addressing the latter. For example, losing weight isn't going to fix your body image problem, no matter how much you convince yourself you're doing the right thing. You're doing what will make you fit into your perception of correct, as opposed to realizing that genuine body love doesn't have your mental stability hinging on whether or not you miss a class or eat a piece of pizza. It is a matter of evaluating how the actions look on the surface, but where they are rooted. I'm not saying addressing those roots is easy or finding them fun. I'm saying you'll have to do it eventually. You can choose to now, or you'll be forced to later. We always need to find the root of our problems, because if we only deal with the surface level things, we just cut off the weeds and not dig up the roots, the weeds will always sprout and sprout, because you can fix the problem on the outside. You can fix that surface level problem, but if you don't fix the root cause, then it's never going to go away. If you don't fix what is actually wrong, it's going to keep coming up and coming up. Number 7, there is no fear or worry or concern or paranoia or insecurity that could possibly muster up that 1,000,005 other humans haven't already felt. The thing about self-loathing is that it's isolating in nature. It makes you the other and everybody else the judgy normal people. I know this may be a little disheartening for your ego, but take it in stride. Generally speaking, and acknowledging logical expectations, there's nothing you've ever done that hasn't been done before, somewhere, somehow, and sometime. The story of the human condition is universal in nature. It's a separation in thought that we're the only ones experiencing it that intensifies the suffering element of that. Interesting how that works, right? Whatever you're going through, there has been someone who has gone through the exact same thing as you and come out the other side better for it. They grew and they prospered from that situation. So whatever mistake you made, whatever struggle you're facing, hardship, rejection, whatever thing that you're going through now, understand that you're not special. It's not that God is trying to punish you or the world is being cruel towards you. Everybody experiences problems. Everybody goes through things. Human struggle is a universal thing. So don't think that you're alone. Don't think that nobody else knows the way you're feeling. And you can't hate yourself for these problems. Number 8, at any given time, you're mostly just concerned with how 1 or maybe 2 people perceive you. Those people also tend to be the ones who feel unaccepted by in one way or another. We're trying to prove something. We're worried about who will see us in an unflattering way and report it back to them. They're usually the almost relationship, slightly disapproving parents, certain someones who we've dreamt of impressing for years on end. We're incapable of having our lives revolve around more than a few people at a time. Even if it seems like we're worried about people as a whole, try to put a face to that worry every time one crops up, and you'll find that the faceless crowd of people is really just 1 or 2 who are very, very familiar to you. Number 9, nobody's thinking about you as much as you are thinking about you. So much of our internal conversation with ourselves revolve around quelling fear and panic about how we're being perceived at any given time. What we seldom realize is that the X factor here is that we're thinking through other people's mindsets. We're just making predictions and assumptions which are heavily, if not entirely, influenced by our own assumptions of ourselves. To put it shortly, everybody else is running around worrying about themselves as much as you are worrying about yourself. Nobody actually cares. Nobody is thinking about you. They're too busy worrying about their own lives. They're too busy worrying about their own problems. So don't always think that you have to perform or you have to tiptoe and do certain things because of what other people will think about you. They're too busy thinking and worrying about their own lives. Number 10, there's too much at stake. To waste your time on worrying about things that are impermanent, unimportant, and ultimately just distractions from the things that bring you joy. Number 11, your feelings of panic are directly related to wanting to change yourself to fit someone else's idea of who you are. If you didn't care to please someone else, if you didn't feel you needed to be okay with them to be okay, you wouldn't be worried about it. That sense of panic and concern with how they see you at all is directly, albeit not entirely, related to how much you feel you need to change or prove yourself. Otherwise, on a deeper level, it means you're externalized your sense of worth and purpose, and therefore stability. And so long as it remains that way, it can never be genuine. Number 12, this is the last one. So if you want to get over these external, surface level, shallow things, you have to turn your attention to things that matter more. This is the truest solution and most effective antidote and secret of all secrets to renouncing your sense of whether or not you're going to be okay with yourself. Make something matter more than how other people see you. If all you have to care about, if all you think you can offer the world is a nice body or a fancy lifestyle or a lot of money or approval that makes you feel good, you're not doing everything you can and should be. Of course you're going to run into anxiety. It's all meaningless. The moment you know you're worth more than how you're seen, the moment you genuinely take stock in the notion that your life is more important than you, is the moment that everybody else's petty concerns fall to the wayside into the oblivion of unimportance. You become blind to them because you're only focused on what really does matter. You and whatever the hell you have to genuinely offer to the world. I feel like the biggest thing when it comes to hating ourselves is trying to be someone that we're not. Worrying about the perception and the opinions of other people, how other people will see us and what they will say about us. We have to be ourselves. We can't keep caring what other people think of us. And that's how we love ourselves, and that's how we not hate ourselves. Because it's the awareness of realizing that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter what people think. So tomorrow's title is 10 questions to ask yourself when you don't know where your life should go next. So I hope everyone enjoyed today's video. Hope you have a great rest of your night. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 73.